$100,000. I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh,
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, first up, we have Mr. Johnson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
What can I do for you, sir?
Your Honor, I believe we're here this morning on a competency hearing.
What's the defendant's name, sir?
Marion Scruggs.
Okay.
And I'm the prosecutor on the Scruggs matter.
Okay.
Case number 2306-004501, people of the state of Michigan versus Mallerie Scruggs. Defendant is charged in count 1, first degree arson, count 2, assault with intent to murder, count 3, home invasion, first degree, count 4, arson, preparation to burn a dwelling, resulting in injury, count 5, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder by strangulation, count 6, malicious destruction of building, 20,004. Count 7, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 8, domestic violence, second offense notice. Defendant has a habitual offender, fourth offense notice.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, APA Larry King for the people, P78774.
Morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Stefan Johnson for the defendant, Mr. Marion Scruggs, P39546.
What's your pleasure, counsel?
I've had a chance to review the report by the forensic center, and I didn't know how the court would proceed. Were you going to just admit the report, or are you going to put on the author for examination?
Well, first I'll ask, are you stipulating to the findings of the report?
For purposes of competency to stand trial, Your Honor, I would stipulate to the findings of the report.
They find him competent?
They did.
All right, so do you want a preliminary exam?
I do think we should schedule a preliminary exam at this point, Your Honor. I still have quite a bit of discovery to review in this case prior to making that determination as to whether we would hold or not.
Continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination. How many witnesses do you have, Mr. King?
One moment, Judge. Let me pull that up. Between 4 and 6, depending on the testimony. I think I should be able to do it in 4, Judge.
How about March 12th at 1:30?
Your Honor,
That's
March 12th.
That's a bad day for the people, Your Honor. I'm going to be in a trial on that day.
When does your trial start?
My trial starts Monday the 11th. It's a week-long trial. We're going to have Spanish interpreters on both sides.
March 19th at 10 o'clock?
March 19th at 10 o'clock is fine with the defense, Your Honor.
So, Your Honor, that works for the people. I do have a trial scheduled that day, but I believe it is going to resolve. If it doesn't, I'll reach out to the court and the defense.
March 19th at 10 o'clock. File will be continued.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
just for the record, Your Honor, the people would accept the stipulation of the defense to the report by the Forensic Center, and I do ask that the court enter a formal order finding the defense.
That the defendant is competent to stand trial. I'll continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination on March 19th at 10 o'clock. Bond will be continued.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good morning. David Brooks.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay, sir, what can I do for you?
I'm here, Your Honor.
You got Kelly Davis.
Yes, Your Honor. Kelly Davis and Reginal Travis, if there's a bond report.
Is she there?
I don't see Miss Wilmot there yet.
Okay.
So we'll just Davis for now.
I'm sorry, Judge.
We're gonna go ahead and do Davis.
Call in case number 2405-578-701, people of the state of Michigan versus Kelly Davis. Defendant is charged in count 1, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 2, weapons carrying concealed. Count 3, weapons, dangerous weapons carrying with unlawful intent. Count 4 and 5, weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant has a habitual offender for the offense notice.
Appearances for the record, please. Do I have an
David.
APA?
You calling me?
David Cripps, P 34972, appearing on behalf of Kelly Davis.
Who's my Shelly Drain for today? So it looks like I don't have an APA here yet, Mr. Cripps.
She said, this night, I'm on the Zoom session.
Did you want to set it over, Judge?
She should be here. She's trying to zoom in now. There's nobody in my way.
She probably was drunk.
I'm still looking for my client also. He was supposed to appear yesterday, but didn't. But Judge Sabri put it over to today to put it on the domestic violence docket.
Okay.
Does the court want to set an exam date?
I'm sorry, what you say, Mr. Cripps?
Judge, did you just want to set an exam date or you want to wait till Shelley Drain arrives?
Well, it's Miss Drain's replacement for today. She's not here.
Okay.
I think she logged into the wrong courtroom. She's trying to navigate her way here now. But in the meantime, I can go over some dates with you.
Okay. That sounds good. We'll set a date.
How is, it'll be March 11th at 12 o'clock.
I have a jury trial set. It may not go, but it's set for that day.
So what do you want to do?
We set it for the 13th?
I can set it for the 13th. Your client is out, right?
Yes, he is.
March 13th at 9:15.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You as well.
I'll check back later on the other case, see if a bond report.
Oh, Mr. Cripps, on Travis, apparently your client had COVID and they weren't able to interview him.
Yeah, okay, so we,
I have a report, so I'll have to re-refer him.
okay. I'll wait for the report to be notified about the report.
All right, let me call that real quick.
Calling case number 2405-570401, people of the state of Michigan versus Reginal Travis. Defendant is charged in count 1 and 2, criminal sexual conduct, 3rd degree, count 3, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree.
Appearances for the record, please. Go ahead, Mr. Cripps.
David Cripps, P 34972 for Mr. Reginald Travis.
Okay, as I indicated off record, Mr. Travis was not able to be interviewed due to a medical issue. So I'm gonna have to re-refer it and go get in contact with you once we get a report back.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right, bond continue for now. Thank you.
I'll notify the specially assigned prosecutor.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Sydney Henderson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I am appearing on behalf of Ms. Townsend.
Okay. I have an APA here on Townsend.
That's mine, Judge.
Okay, we're ready on Townsend.
Calling case number 2405-576501 for state of Michigan versus Ashunaria Townsend. Defendant is charged in counts 1 through 4, child abuse, 2nd degree, count 5, driving reckless.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brittany Johnson on behalf of the people, P83513.
Good morning, Sydney Henderson, P84839, appearing on behalf of Ms. Townsend. Ms. Townsend, can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Ashunaria Townsend.
Ms. Townsend, you are aware that you are in court, right?
Yes.
What are you wearing?
I have on a regular shirt. It's full shirt.
Okay. Would you wear that to court?
No, I apologize.
So again, you do recognize.
I did.
you are-
I can't lie. I did look for something, but my house got broke into. I made a police report like 3 days ago, so my clothes are kind of gone.
What's
I
the
made a
pleasure,
police
counsel?
report.
Your Honor, at this time, we have received both digital and paper discovery. We would be requesting an exam date.
The court will continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination. How is March 11th at 12 o'clock?
Judge, I'm starting a jury trial that morning. I'm also starting another one on the 13th. I could do the 15th in the afternoon, though.
March 15th at 12:15.
That's perfect, Judge.
That works, Your Honor.
All right. March 15th at 12:15, bond will be continued.
Your Honor, are we able to address the matter of bond at this time?
And what about it?
At the arraignment, judge ordered that Ms. Townsend not use her social media. I have been in contact with Ms. Townsend, and currently she uses her social media for business purposes. She does hair, makeup, and lashes, and so those are how she books her appointments and things of that nature. She's provided proof to me that I can send over to the court. I would ask that the court allow for her to use her social media for the purposes of conducting her business.
People?
Your Honor, I'll leave it to the discretion of the court. I'm assuming that the restriction on social media was because the allegations in this case were filmed and were posted online. I don't believe that she has access to these children anymore. I don't believe that her social media use would be a danger to any of these children.
Okay, send over proposed orders to that effect.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have James Hadley, who is on Zoom.
Calling case number 2405-580301 for establishment versus James Hadley. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with intent.
The assistant prosecuting attorney. There's a case on the
Count 1, assault with intent to do grave bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. Count 2, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 3, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 4, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 5, domestic violence. Defendant has a habitual offender second offense notice.
Appearances for the record, please. Appearances for the record, please.
Okay, Charlotte Birchback from the Neighborhood Defender Service, P number 86740 on behalf of Mr. Hadley. Mr. Hadley, could you unmute and say your full name for the record?
Unmute yourself, Mr. Hadley.
There we go.
Tell me your name, sir.
James Hadley.
All right. Ms. Lynch, are you with me today?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Your Honor. Dinah Lynch on behalf of the people.
Thank you. Your P number?
P84589.
What's your question, Ms. Birchback?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we are still missing digital discovery, but we're ready to set for an exam.
Court will continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination on March 11th, 2024 at 12 o'clock noon.
That works for the defense. And I would also ask to be heard about Mr. Hadley's tether, if I could.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, Mr. Hadley is on tether. He's staying with his sister. The woman involved in this case is the mother of his children. He is not staying with her and does not intend to for the pendency of this case. He works as a direct care aide at an adult at a home called the Detroit Family Home. He is able to go back to that job, but he feels that it would be disruptive to be there with the tether on. I don't believe he currently has any restrictions. He could go with the tether. It's just that he feels it would be.
Why would it be disruptive?
Sorry, Your Honor?
Why would it be disruptive?
I mean, I feel like it is a little bit unprofessional to be in an adult care home with a tether on. Like if it's going off, that like they tend to just do those things. I guess I'm asking Your Honor to consider, in light of the allegations, this woman is saying that a firearm was used, but the police searched his car, his person, and the house. He remained on scene. No firearm was recovered. The only injuries in this case seem to be scratches. And so I would ask Your Honor to consider that, you know, he's not a flight risk. He is here in court on Zoom. He plans to attend the exam. He doesn't have a violent history. His second habitual notice is for receiving stolen property from 2005. And so in light of all of those things, I understand why the tether was put on initially. However, as he has complied with it, I would ask you to consider removing it.
With all due respect, I haven't heard any good reason why I should, other than it's unprofessional, but that's why you wear long pants.
Your Honor, that's my request. I can understand why Mr. Hadley feels, I mean, he won't go to work with it on because he feels that it's unprofessional, but he has the job either way. I was just asking the court to consider it.
I don't think so. Fine, continue.
And Mr. Hadley, I'll give you a call after court. You can log off the Zoom.
McMillan?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Charles Davis. But before we go on the record, can I be placed in a breakout room with him? I don't have a working phone number for him, so I haven't talked to him since.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Join the breakout room. All right. Mr. Chambers.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. What can I do for you?
I have Mallerie, we scheduled Mallerie Humphrey up today.
Okay. Ready,
Calling case number 2405-566-301. People of the state of Michigan versus Mallerie Humphrey II. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor, and to your staff, Dinah Lynch, on behalf of the people, P84589.
And good morning, Judge. May it please the court, Arnie Chambers, on behalf of Mr. Humphrey, P63956.
And what's your pleasure, counsel?
I mean, Judge, I would be asking for an exam date. Got discovery.
Okay, how is March 11th at 12:15?
See here. Oh, that's good, Judge.
Okay, March 11th at 12:15, bond will be continued.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes, Your Honor.
we have one other exam or case that's been set for exam. That's on Davis, Kelly Davis, set for
Yes, sir.
March 13th at 9:15.
Thank you, Your Honor. For some reason, I was on the Zoom, but I wasn't let into the Zoom session. So that was the only reason I was late. I've been on the call since 8:15. Thank you.
I think you're in the wrong place because you weren't in my Zoom room.
Then maybe I was, but thank you very much, Your Honor.
No. Okay, we're ready on Charles Davis.
Yes.
Calling case number 2205-953201. People of the state of Michigan versus Charles Davis III. Defendant is charged in count 1, home invasion, first degree, count 2, malicious destruction of personal property less than $200.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dinah Lynch on behalf of the people, P84589.
Good morning, Your Honor. Corianne McMillan, P87150 on behalf of Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Charles Davis, the third.
I'm gonna go. What's your pleasure, counsel?
Your Honor, at this time.
You muted yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have any body worn camera or the recorded statement of the complaining witness. And since this is my first time being in contact with Mr. Davis, I would just ask for an adjournment of the PCC date.
Is there a possibility it may resolve itself short of an exam?
I doubt it.
Okay, so we'll set an example. We'll give you some time to get your discovery and meet with your client and so forth. How about
Okay.
March 10th at 10 o'clock?
I'm sorry, what day did you say?
March 13th, let's do 9:30.
9:30. Okay, works for me. Thank you.
All right, file will be continued. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Ms. Quick.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Cynthia Royal.
Okay. Reginal Royal.
Call case number 2405-580601, people of the state of Michigan versus Cynthia Royal. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. Count 2, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dinah Lynch on behalf of the people, P84589.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Cheryl Quick, P83973 on behalf of Cynthia Royal. I believe that is Ms. Royal zooming in from the Wayne County Jail.
Ms. Royal, tell me your name for the record.
Cynthia Royal.
What's your pleasure, counsel?
Your Honor, I've met with Ms. Royal. I've spoken with some of her family members. I have some real concerns about her ability to assist in her defense. This time I'm going to ask the court to order an evaluation by the Forensic Center.
All right, the court will refer the defendant for a competency evaluation to the Forensic Center. I'll set a review date for May 27th at 8:30. Bond will be continued.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Royal, I'll be back by to see you again, okay?
Okay, let me see where this takes.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I ask the court or the court staff, the attorney's name for Charles Davis? I thought it was
Charles Davis?
Yes, Charles Davis, his attorney. Currently, it's not
That's-
listed in.
That's McMillan. I don't know her first name. Corey Ann McMillan.
Corey Ann, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me for interrupting. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, sure. Thank you very much. Anybody out there for us?
No, sir.
No.
Not at the moment. Well, we got a witness. I'll take that back. We got a witness on the next case.
Okay.
It's father and the son. Henderson lockup.
The father and the son both have the same name, do they?
Sir?
The father and the son have the same name.
Okay.
They want you to get confused.
Hello there, Ms. Wilmot. Aaron Wilmot. Good morning. Ms. Wilmot? Aaron?
Hold on, Judge. Okay, Judge, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I always have this issue for some reason. I have to go in my settings and change it. I was logging on for Reginal Travis, but Mr. Cripps just informed me that it was adjourned.
Yes, what did we do on Travis? Oh, that was the bond report. They weren't able to interview him because he has a medical issue.
Oh, okay, great.
When we get a report, we'll get back in contact with you.
Sounds perfect to me. Thanks so much. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, you too. Oh, okay. Wait. Ms. Davis is about to log on now.
Morning. Good.
Celebration.
Okay. Like 25.
So smart.
Okay. That's enough. It don't have DVR here. Prosecutor said they have a child. There's no DVR here. I don't know what to ask. She said, the prosecutor, it is scheduled for exam today at 9. So then.
First.
What's so bad?
Ain't no complaints here. Attorney clients.
Oh, yes. So tomorrow, so when you going on vacation?
Thursday.
Okay. Always take your birthday out.
Absolutely. 18 years. Ms. Davis,
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
You may see me getting on a second when I was having some problems with my computer. So I got my tablet, but now it looks like the computer is working, so I'm trying to join with that.
You're fine right where you are. I can hear you, I can see you.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, okay.
All mistakes.
Call case number 240550700 from people in the state of Michigan versus Mallerie Humphrey. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon. Defendant has a felony conviction for motor vehicle advice, adult advice.
Appearances for the record, please. Can't hear you, Ms. Lynch. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Dinah Lynch on behalf of the people, P84589.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kalilia, Kahlilia Davis, P70729 for Miss Hampton. I believe Miss Hampton is online. Is on Zoom as well.
Okay, this matter is actually scheduled for preliminary examination today at 11 o'clock. Why are we here now?
Your Honor, I remain unable to appear. My nurse told me my wound should be closed in about 2 weeks. So if we could just set it out, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, then I can be present in the courtroom to conduct the exam.
Is your client out?
Yes, she is out.
How about March 13th at 10 o'clock?
That works for me, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Court finds good cause for the adjournment. I'll adjourn to March 13th at 10 o'clock and bond will be continued.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
She's the one who told me. We don't get her to go. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll be right back. I'll let you know. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody here still?
Nobody.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, no police officers either though. Yeah, it's been till 10. We got good 30, 33, 34 minutes.
This bench is done, right?
This case is on fall council.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes, Your Honor.
I think you're done with us for today.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Here, pardon. He's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thanks, man.
How do you think it would go if we went back to what things were, and part everybody down, did it on the first come, first served basis? As opposed to spread it out throughout the room. We get a lot of congestion out there in Clove, but we would be sitting around to like 30, time. We would be done early. Because people be saying that I don't have a witness. Call those people, get them away, and then it's over after.
So, but how would you set it on the dot? If everybody at the same time, it's like 9 o'clock. Oh.
Like we used to.
Oh. Just keep. Yes. So, can we do it early? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
She said it was a full shit. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Great. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Sam, come on in.
Go ahead.
They're here to see me.
Morning, Judge.
How you doing?
How are you?
Thank you, sir.
Small.
Okay. No. Tell her. I'll be great. Yes, sir. Well.
No, we're all set. Oh, you know what? To the person, so.
Oh, this one. This one. The company.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. I'll have to get it.
And how do you accommodate it?
Yeah, this time, you need to work with that. Thank you very much.
Just so your
Thank you very much.
they're gonna wait at 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Baby, you want to see your regulated matter?
No, he overseas.
He's overseas. What, just vacation? He's still on the
Yeah.
He's still on the military?
He would have got out with. Come on, share. Got out here.
Yeah. He in the combat.
Right. Call the shots.
That's cool.
Talk to him.
while, 2 months.
About 4 5 months.
Oh, wow. So he's still in reserve, huh?
Yeah, he's dedicated to the uniform.
Oh, yeah.
White kids.
You know? Wow.
Whoever he with,
Oh, he got to tell us about.
got they, I don't know if they're married, but she just retired now. She's not an officer, but she was. She had kids. So, yeah,
What a good man. Good.
he said, in Cali. What do you say? Money.
Yeah, I wish I had a kid. Just one son.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you were saying before they were. Two.
Oh, you was old.
So I'm saying, I was on the same page.
You was old.
And my wife, we both got together. She, oh, that's perfect. Like, man, you know, with our favorite cousins and stuff.
So
I said, nah,
baby shower.
baby shower and stuff, man. They'll never do that. But don't regret it. I love that. 2 years. After that, got my girl. Got me crazy. I know it was really great.
Keep the shotgun.
You know what I'm saying? So, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll say that. Oh my God.
Oh, what you doing in here? Oh my goodness. Why are you in here? Sabri kicked you out, didn't she?
Yeah.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
She needed to.
No, I kicked her out.
No, you, oh, let me go down there and tell her that.
Oh, no, watch your tone. You ain't gotta be going out there.
Snitching and stuff, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is whatever I tell you what happened.
It's a lie.
Oh, you need to.
It's a lie. Can't blame man. Not at all.
How you been, though?
Fine. You been okay? Daniel's cool?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, we just waiting. Any?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. His father was back there. His son was back there. Let me see.
Okay.
So. Okay. He's the witness.
No, that's what he said at first.
Okay.
He's just in support of his dad.
All right. So the witness ain't here.
Witness in here.
Let me scratch this out.
Well, yeah, no, yes, it is. It's witness is up there.
Okay.
Yeah, because the prosecuting attorney was told to him.
Okay. All right.
You want to say, come on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll leave my phone right there. I trust you.
Yeah, you leave your coat right there.
saying Darnell, is he in the building?
I think he is, yeah. I haven't seen him this week.
Next, number one. It's coming in this one. So this should show. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fine.
Well.
Okay.
We're gonna have preliminaries.
Oh, okay, all right. Here you go.
Are we ready? Now, is it possible I can have? Sure. Go ahead. Listen. Is he in here? No, go ahead. There you go. I'm not. All right. Yeah. Still too low? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Bigger. What's your birthday, sir? Last time.
Okay. Appreciate it.
I think you're ready. Ready?
Yeah, ready. Ready, Mr. Pickett?
Yeah, you know, see that, see the attorney, man.
Calling case 2455571, people of the state of Michigan versus Philip Lee Daniels. Defendant is charged in count 1 homicide, murder second degree, count 2 weapons, firearms, possession by felon, count 3 carrying concealed weapon, count 4 and 5 felony firearm. Defendant has an habitual offender fourth offense notice. Appearances for the record.
Paul Casson, good morning, Your Honor. Paul Casson, P29364 for the prosecutor.
May it please the court, Your Honor, Tyrone Baker, E number 62647, here on behalf of Mr. Philip Daniels, who's present to my left, Your Honor.
Tell me your name for the record, sir.
Philip Daniels.
There's date, time set for preliminary examination. Ready to proceed? Mr. Pickett.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Daniels, I want to make a record that I want to ask the court to consider adjournment. The reason why, Your Honor, is that the court, I'm sure recalls, this case was originally set for last Thursday. At that time, I filed a motion to adjourn the matter because while as of Thursday, I had received the discovery, I had not had an opportunity to review it. In reviewing the discovery on Thursday and Friday, it became apparent that there was still discovery that was missing. Most importantly, some body worn camera video that in this case, Your Honor, I think all parties would agree it is important.
You say it is important?
Yes, that is important. The police were at the scene of this incident just prior and had left and then had to return to the scene. That has been provided to me since. However, there were some emails exchanged. I filed a motion to compel that discovery with the court, but I was not able to send it out until the weekend. So I'm sure the court, Mr. Cassidy, did not see it until Monday.
I still haven't seen it.
Understood. It's in your ROA. It does indicate that there was a motion, but
what discovery are you missing?
So as of right now, Your Honor, just to continue with. So I'm sure Mr. Cassidy received that and took action based on it. I received a text from what would be the officer in charge. I believe Sergeant Mackey was there. Okay, Sergeant Mackey indicating, hey, I have this stuff here. You know, and we made arrangements, and he did deliver that to my office yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock. Okay. The body worn camera was on a disc. Of course, I assumed that to be a disc. It turned out to be a Blu-ray disc. I have it. This morning, I was able to acquire a Blu-ray player and begin to view the body camera. So I have had a chance to view. Obviously, in a case like this, these types of charges, I like to go over as much as I can with my client. I have had a brief opportunity to kind of discuss the matter with it. The main reason I want to make this record is because down the road, what has become more commonplace is the use of transcripts from their exam, and the fact that the defense counsel has had the opportunity to cross, and when that is put forth to the court, one of the things that obviously as defense counsel that we take issue with sometimes is that the reasons for a cross exam at preliminary exam are not necessarily the same as at a jury trial or a bench trial on case, and that we may or may not have had all the discovery at the time that we conducted that cross examination. You know, I just feel the need to make that record because at the end of the day, I feel like it does in some way hinder my preparation for the cross examination today. And so I just wanted to make that.
How is that? Because you received the discovery, you've gone over it.
I have had a chance to view it. I literally viewed it this morning. Very, so I will admit I'm an experienced attorney.
I was just about to go there. You read my mind.
I am an experienced attorney, and I just feel the need again to make that record, not only for the purpose of today, but also for any potential purposes down the road. Because at the end of the day, if, for example, a witness were to not show, and then it was like, well, hey, Mr. Rick, you had an opportunity to cross-examine. I just want to make some kind of record of the fact when I'm able to review and prepare for today versus what the argument may be.
Let me ask you this question. In the perfect world, what would your scenario look like that you would be happy with that is different today?
So in a perfect world, Your Honor, so for example, there's approximately 6 or 7 of the body. So I've had, now they are somewhat redundant because they're 2 officers at the same scene.
Right.
But obviously there are times where they separate as well. So in all candor, I've had an opportunity to review 4 of those 6. Okay. The other 2 being short and again, I do believe being somewhat overlapping. In a perfect world, I would obviously review everything. There was additional materials, additional police reports, there's a thing called a flock report. in this case, Your Honor, the court probably may be familiar with them more than I was. But in this case, there was some technology used, which was, again, I received those reports and this will come CAD reports, which relate to the police calls, police runs, all of that was received yesterday as well. And if perfect, I would take some additional time to review that and to discuss all my thoughts and issues about it with my client. And I think be better prepared. Again, and imperfect.
Well, given the fact that you have the discovery, you've had an opportunity to review that discovery, I don't think that there's a basis or the cause to adjourn the matter. How many witnesses do we have here? Two. Are they civilian witnesses? One civilian witness. All right, so
I understand, Your Honor.
I don't know if you heard me or not.
I did.
Okay, so we're gonna go forward.
I did, Your Honor.
And the record has been made.
Understood, Your Honor. I understand the control.
All right, do you have any preliminary matters before you call your witness?
I believe we have a stipulation, Your Honor, that the defendant has prior felony conviction. And that the deceased was Reginal Travis, and he died as a result of a gunshot wound to the chest. Manner of death was homicide.
That is correct. Mr. Cassidy showed me a certified copy of my prior conviction. I would better stipulate my client has a prior conviction ineligible to carry a firearm.
All right, well, this is that stipulation. You might want to give some detail of what that prior conviction is.
I remember. Possession of stolen property, a felony over $1,000.
For example, I would stipulate to the conviction. What is the date?
The date was 1/23/09.
I would stipulate to the conviction.
Is that one of the
specified? I don't believe that's a specified. Don't believe that's a specified felony.
I'm not sure if that's a specified felony either.
I do not believe it.
I don't think it is. I'm not sure.
So you're not going to be able to make count 2 felon in possession of firearm. I'm not sure if that is or not. Because it's felony punishable by more than 4 years.
It is. Felony punishable by over 4 years.
Okay. And as to the medical examiner's report.
So as the medical examiner's report, yes, I would be prepared to stipulate for exam purposes that to the cause of death, Your Honor, and to the identification of the deceased.
Okay. Did you want to elaborate on the record on that?
To indicate that medical report reflects that the victim was 26 years old. Examination revealed a penetrating gunshot wound to the chest with entrance. Gunshot wound on the right upper chest. There was no gunpowder stripping loaded on the skin around the wound. It tracked through the sternum, pericardial, right atrium, ventricle, left atrium, posterior pericardial sac, lower lobe of the left lung, with a foreign bullet fragment which was recovered. The wound track was from front to back, right to left, downward to when the body is viewed in the standard anatomical position. Right peripheral subdental hemorrhages, transmural lacerations in the thoracic aorta and distal esophagus, approximately 2,000 milliliters of blood within bilateral pleural cavities combined associated with this wound. In addition, gunshot wound, there was abrasions on the right forehead And left the consideration of the circumstances and post-mortem examination, in my opinion, we got the cause by a gunshot wound to the chest and the manner of death was not.
And that's gonna be people's exhibit 1.
Yeah.
And you're moving for submission?
Please.
Admitted?
Objection.
With that, call your witness.
I call Marcus Davis.
Sir, please step forward, give your name and the spelling of your name to the young lady seated over there. Please raise your right hand, sir. Your other right. There you go. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box right next to me. Just open that door up and have a seat. Once you sit down, there's going to be a microphone to your left. You can pick the base of that up and place it in your lap and speak directly into the microphone for us so we can hear you, okay? Yes, sir. You can still pick it up and put it in your lap.
Oh.
You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record.
Marcus Hayes.
How old are you?
25.
On January 31st of this year, where did you live?
I lived in my apartment, but I was staying at Terrell's house.
Terrell is who?
My boyfriend.
What was his last name?
Causey.
And where is his house located at?
His house 9164 Mendoza.
In what city is that?
Detroit, Michigan.
And who else lived with that house at that time?
Philip and his girlfriend Evan and her 4 kids.
Did you see Philip here in court? You know his last name?
James.
Okay, did you identify him for the court? Yes, the record reflects he's pointed out Mr. Davis.
So noted.
Thank you. You said that was Mendoza in Detroit?
Yes.
And about that afternoon, who else was there besides you and Mr. Causey and Phil? Who was there?
His girlfriend Ebony and her kids, about 3 or 4 of them.
What roughly were the ages of those children?
Around 4 to 11, maybe.
4 to 11? All right. And at sometime that afternoon, was there a dispute between Mr. Daniels and Mr. Causey?
Sometime in the afternoon, like before the police came?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So when the police came, what took place then?
Me and Terrell was upstairs, about to say happy birthday to him. Philip come upstairs, knock on the doors, and the police was looking for him. Terrell come downstairs talking to the police, saying the police was saying that it was a warrant out for his arrest. They pronounced Terrell's last name as Coffee, not Causey. Terrell said my name is not Coffee, I'm giving you my real name is Terrell Causey. The police told him that someone from the inside had called and made a statement that it was a warrant out for his arrest. Philip then comes in and intervene while him and police are talking to the police.
Where did that conversation take place in the house?
It sounded like by the front door.
Okay, were you present as well or not?
I was upstairs. I was just at everything deep listening.
So you could hear the conversation?
Yes.
All right, so how long was your conversation with the police?
About maybe 2 to 3 minutes. He jumped in the conversation, asking Terrell what's going on. Like, the police is the second time the police come and looking for you. But me and Terrell been gone all day. We just got back to the house at around 5:30 p.m. And he said it was the second time the police was looking for him, but he didn't tell me or Terrell that the police came to the house.
What time was this? What time were the police there, would you say?
The police came around maybe 6:30-ish, like 6:20, 6:30.
Okay.
Can you move the microphone back just a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. And so then at that point in time, the discussion with the police?
Yeah.
How many officers were there?
It sounded like 2.
And Terrell was found with him, then Mr. Daniels came over and started talking?
Yes, the police were saying that they had a warrant out for Terrell arrest, and when Terrell was talking, they said that the call came from inside the house, and then Philip joins in the conversation out of nowhere, saying, "What's going on, man?" So I'm like, "Well, what you got going on?" It's the second time they come here looking for you, but we had just got to the house like at 5:30. By the time we got to the house, he hadn't talked to us about the police were looking for Terrell.
Okay, so at that point in time, did the conversation end with the police officers?
Did the conversation end?
Yes.
No, they was talking about the warrant out for his arrest. Him and Philip began arguing in front of the police. Terrell was saying that I'm scared. This man is drunk, hostile, and he has a weapon in our house. So can y'all please check the house? They want to check the house. And then he told the police that they have a lease agreement that says anytime that he get hostile, he must leave. Philip was saying that he's not going no effing, and the police in the leave. They didn't check the scene.
So, Mr. Terrell Crosby told the police that Philip Daniels had a weapon on him?
He said that, "Can y'all please check my house? He has a weapon on him. He's getting hostile and he's drunk."
Okay. And the police told her a civil matter?
The police didn't really try to check on nothing, so Terrell and I slammed the door, and they kept going at it. It was arguing in front of the police the whole time.
All right. So then the police left?
Yes, the police left. By the time I came downstairs, I opened the door, the police was in the car. They was going by the front door, they was going back and forth.
You came downstairs then?
Yes.
Did you observe Mr. Daniels and Mr. Crosby there?
You said I observed him?
Did you observe him?
Yes, I was. He was very drunk. He smelled like liquor.
Who was?
Philip. He was saying that he's not going on acting weird and telling Terrell that his girl did not call the police on him and all this. And the girl jumped in the conversation after he's saying that, why would she call the police? So Terrell was like, y'all have to go. He said he's not going on acting weird. The conversation led to the room. I went upstairs once he started looking like he was grabbing his hip to try to shoot someone.
Okay, did you look at, what was his hip, describe his hip area?
It was just a regular hip. He was like reaching for something like he didn't want to reach.
You're motioning like reaching into your pocket.
Like reaching onto the side, not the pocket. It was like a side.
Okay, could you see what was there before?
There wasn't nothing there though, but you could tell because he just kept backing up. So when he did that.
So where were they at that point in time?
They was about like the hallway going towards the back room.
Okay, were they both in the hallway or?
Yes, they were in the hallway. He was walking backwards.
Who was?
Philip.
Philip? Okay. What happened then?
After that, when I started seeing him reach for his whatever, I started going back upstairs to run to go grab my phone and call the police to come back. By the time I went upstairs, I heard it was quiet for a minute and his girl screamed at me, like not in front of my kids, and you hear the gun go off.
Okay, now you described the, can you tell us how much time elapsed between the time you last saw the two men together and you heard the gunshot?
Probably about like 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
By the time I ran upstairs to grab my phone, I was dialing 911. It was ringing probably like 2 rings maybe. Then I probably got the first ring, she screamed not in front of my kids. The second ring, and then the gun went off. Then he said, y'all get the fuck out of here. Talk about Ebony and her 4 kids or 3, whatever she had. They started leaving, and I was at the top of the steps, he meet me at the bottom. He started, Philip.
Okay.
He started running towards me while the phone was still ringing on the police. I ran into the bathroom. And by the time I got in the bathroom, they finally answered the phone. That's when I started talking to them. By the time he gets to the door, he started busting open the door, trying to bust in. And I started screaming, help.
Okay, so now, when you see him coming up the stairs, could you see his hands?
I couldn't see nothing. No, I looked at his face and I ran to the room.
Okay, so you didn't observe his body so much as to see his
He should have
face.
been up there because that was our area. We'd never be in this area or he never even supposed to be upstairs. So after I heard the gunshot, only thing I think was he was shooting next. So that's why I ran into the bathroom. Once I ran in the bathroom, he started banging on the door. So obviously he was trying to attack me.
Philip was banging on the door.
Objection is any speculation. I don't know if I would what you said or didn't see, just the speculation of what he thought.
I'll sustain any speculation, but you can give an impression as to what you believe was going on.
You had an opinion as to what you thought he was going to do.
Yes, because he never be in our area upstairs at all. And after he said.
So what were the living arrangements, in that house?
The living arrangements was their roommates, me and Jerome boyfriend, so I'll be over there. I have my own apartment, but I'll be there most of the time.
In that particular house, who slept where would you say?
Philip slept in the back room downstairs, and this girl slept with him, and her 3 or 4 kids slept across the hall.
Okay, and then, you and, Terrell slept upstairs?
Yes.
And nobody had actually, was supposed to come upstairs and you and Terrell? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then he tries banging on the door, you get told to the police, what's the next thing that you recall happened?
He started busting on the door, like his third push, I started screaming, help, help. Phone hanging up. By the time I started screaming, he ran out the room downstairs. He ran out. He ran from the bathroom upstairs to downstairs. I guess started grabbing some stuff because I hear him underneath me. So by the time he left, I thought he was back. I'm whispering at this time saying he's trying to kill me. Please come help. He just shot my boyfriend. So I was just there 3 minutes ago. I'm up here whispering on the phone. He's still down there. I still hear noise, so I still hear him inside the house. I'm still on the phone with police, asking me questions as much as I can. By the time I hear them like leave, like the front door close, I get the courage to tiptoe outside of the room, go try to tackle Sherelle. I'm still on the phone with the police. By the time I get to the top of the steps, the police start banging on the door. That's when I ran downstairs to open the door for the police. They were gone by then. So me and the police are looking for Sherelle body, and I'm telling them like they have it back in the back room. I'm not sure where it's at, but I know it's came back there. So I followed the police back into the back room, but we found Sherelle inside the kids' room where the kids sleep at on the side of their bed. Then after that, just ran the phone.
Did you ever see Terrell Causey with a weapon that day?
No.
And, did you ever see Philip Daniels after he left the house?
No.
I've got some further thinking.
Cross examine.
Morning, Say I'm gonna ask you some questions that I asked you to think that you want to just let me know and I'll try to ask you differently, okay? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Hayes, it sounds like from your vantage point upstairs, you could hear a lot of the conversation downstairs when the police were there. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. You told us a number of things that were said downstairs, correct?
Correct.
You did hear Mr. Terrell Causey several times say that he would knock out Mr. James, correct?
Yes, I did hear that.
In fact, let me ask you this. You were not downstairs when the police actually left, right?
When they left?
Correct, the person.
No, I wasn't downstairs. I was just
Okay. And there came a time where you could hear Mr. Causey asking Mr. James, you want me to knock you out? You want me to knock you out? You recall that, right?
He said that he's gonna knock him out. Can you want me to knock you out?
Yes. Do you recall Mr. Causey telling you to go up and get the bitch, referring to his hand?
Hell no. I'm sorry, no. You know what happened. I'm going to go grab my phone. He's the only person in the house with a laptop.
You indicated that as of this date that you had your own apartment, but as you were staying or in some regard, you stayed the night at this location as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
How in a given week, how many nights would you say that you stayed at this house versus?
This week in particular, probably maybe 3, 4 days. Usually I'm there like every day. And I'm like,
and as because your relationship was short, you're not paying right there. Mr. Daniels was paying right there, right?
Yes.
And in fact, when the police came, what you heard Mr. Daniels saying was that He wasn't gonna leave because he pays rent there.
Yes, that was the case, but the case was also stating that, lease agreement is that anytime he get hostile or aggressive, that he must go.
Do you have a copy of this agreement?
I didn't bring it with me.
Have you read it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you turned it over to Mr. Cassidy here?
No, I did not.
Okay, can you do that?
I'm sure I will.
Now, you indicated several times that Mr. Daniels or his girlfriend, that they, in your words, jumped into a conversation, right?
Yes, he jumped into the conversation. Okay. Abby was brought into the conversation because the police said that someone inside the phone. And Terrell, that's when he came out of nowhere saying, "What's going on? It's the second time the police coming for you, man." He was drunk. It was saying, "One of y'all are calling the police, because the police just told me that someone was calling from the inside." And he acted like he was stupid and confused. And Terrell said, "Well, either you call him or Abby call him." He said, "My girl's not calling."
You said he acted like he was stupid or confused.
Because when the police said that someone from the inside was calling, he said, "I don't know," he jumped in the conversation, and then Terrell was saying, "Well, either you calling or your girl's calling." He said, "I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not calling man." And Terrell said, "Well, either Ebony calling." He's like, "My girl's not calling," but the police stayed in front of Terrell that the call was coming from the inside.
So you never watched any video related to this case, correct?
What you mean, I don't know.
Right, you never watched any like body worn video or any video of this, of any of this, correct? And so the issue about whether let's get some clarity. Ebony, the woman you refer to as Ebony, is the woman that you're saying is Mr. Daniels' girlfriend, right?
Girlfriend, baby mama, they was living together.
So to make sure we're on the same page when you talk about. Okay. And the police come and they're trying to figure out who called, right?
At the time, they were trying to figure out who called. They were trying to figure out who Coffee was.
They're trying to figure out who Terrell Coffee is because they think this person has a warrant.
Exactly.
And when you say that Mr. Daniels jumped in, it was Mr. Daniels that came up and brought to Mr. Causey's attention the fact that the police were there, right?
Yes, once the police came the second time, well, mind you, we was there for 5:30. When we was there, he didn't come and say, "Hey, man, the police were for you earlier." And after the police came and he found out that we was finally home, he comes knocking on the door saying, "The police is looking for you." Then after Mr. Royal having a conversation, he jumps in the conversation and says, "This is the second time coming for you." Even though we've been here, mind you, an hour before the police came, he didn't say, "Hey, the police is looking for you earlier."
Right, but since you were not there, you don't know whether what he just said is true or not true, right? They could have came earlier, right?
I'm saying, but even if they
so my question is,
yes, that's true. Even if they came early, we were still at the house before the police came the second time. He didn't warn us to let us know, "Hey, the police are coming."
I understand that, but at the end of the day, what your point is that during the hour that you were there, that Mr. Daniels didn't say anything about it. That's your point, right?
No. Wow. Yes, that's good.
Okay. But aside from that, Mr. Daniels is the one, when they were there, the police, I'm talking about, and you refer to it as the second time.
Just the second time.
Because that's what he said, right? Mr. Daniels. Right. The only reason why you know it to be the second time is because that's what Mr. Daniels said, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And just so we're clear, eventually the police come a third time, right? After the shooting.
The third time, I called, yes.
Right, okay. So when the police are there, and what I'm getting at is, it's Mr. Daniels that informs your boyfriend, Mr. Causey, that they're there, right?
Yes.
He has to come upstairs into the house and say, "Hey, the police are here."
No, he knocked at the bottom of the steps saying, "Hey, Terrell, come downstairs. The police are looking for you."
Okay, so they didn't even come up into the location. He just knocked and let you guys know that the police are here for Terrell, right? Terrell then comes downstairs and then a conversation ensues, right?
Yes.
And it's during that conversation where eventually it turns into some discussion about, well, you tell me, do you hear Mr. Causey telling the police that they have to make Mr. Daniels leave?
This is after the police was taking us.
At any time, do you at any time hear Mr. Causey telling the police that they have to make Mr. Daniels leave?
This is after, once they start arguing, he's getting hostile and aggressive after he's drunk, yes.
Okay, you keep saying he's hostile and aggressive and drunk. You weren't downstairs during any of this conversation, correct?
No.
You had no conversation with Mr. Daniels prior to this, had you?
No.
Okay. So when you say he's drunk and hostile, you haven't had a conversation with him and you're not observing the conversation. Is that fair?
That's not fair, but once I came downstairs.
No, so my question is that correct or not?
That's correct, because when I came downstairs, finally when the police was gone, he was drunk in hospital. So when I came downstairs, he was drunk, and then he started getting in the hospital.
This is after the police have left, correct?
Yes, but now, this is now me witnessing with my 2 eyes, that's not my voice no more. Now I'm downstairs, I'm seeing what I'm hearing.
I understand it. What you're seeing and hearing now that you're describing is after the police have left. So we're on the same page, right?
Yes, because now.
Okay, sir, you keep saying yes, because when I'm trying to walk you through this situation. I know you might have a lot of reasons why, but what I'm asking you is, the conversation that you actually now are observing is after the police have left, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, and by this point, Mr. Causey and Mr. Daniels have both been arguing, is that fair?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and the police were present during that argument, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and all that time that you're talking about this drunk, hostile conversation was going on, prior to you coming downstairs, the police were present, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Then the police leave, and then you come downstairs, right?
Correct.
And then this is the time when you're talking about Mr. Daniels is drunk and hostile and all that stuff, right?
Correct.
But this is after Mr. Causey has threatened to knock him out, correct?
Now that I know of.
Okay, you couldn't hear that part from upstairs.
No, I don't hear that. This is actually, well, he did say that in front of the police.
Several times, correct?
Yes, and they was right in front of each other, and they both was going at it, arguing, so.
But there's only one person saying that they're gonna knock out the other person, correct?
But they both were threatening each other.
Mr. Daniels threatened Mr. Causey while the police were there? That's your testimony that you heard
Well,
that?
basically, he was getting off the sound.
My question, sir, is very clear. Did Mr. Daniels threaten Mr. Causey while the police were there during the conversation that you heard from upstairs? Yes or no?
No, we'll be the threat.
Okay. Now, Mr. Causey did threaten Mr. Daniels during the conversation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, the police leave, and they leave right after Mr. Causey slams the door in their face, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then as they're leaving, Mr. Causey is still saying and screaming to Mr. Daniels, "You want me to knock you out? You want me to knock you out?" Correct?
No, they both argued the conflict, yes.
And then, after the police leave, from the time that you come downstairs until the time when did you hear a gunshot?
Yes, I heard a gunshot.
Okay. From the time when you came downstairs until the time of the gunshot, how long would you estimate that time?
From which one?
From the time when you came downstairs.
The first time? Yes, when the police left?
Yes.
To the gunshot?
Yes.
From after the gunshot to the police left?
Yes.
I'm gonna say about 3 minutes.
Okay.
But me going upstairs, when, grabbing my phone, that would probably be 5 seconds on the gunshot.
Okay.
When you told me I had to go up there and grab something, I had to grab a phone.
Okay, so I wanna make sure we're on the same page, because some things you just said, okay? You come downstairs, there's some arguing, et cetera, and you at some point make a decision to go back upstairs to get your phone. Correct? Is that fair? And when you say 5 seconds, what you're saying is, when you went upstairs to grab the phone, it's about 5 seconds later when you hear a gunshot.
Yes.
Okay. I believe you testified that you, I'm sorry. I believe you testified that you were dialing 911 and the phone was actually ringing.
Yeah, so I come upstairs to grab my phone, I'm dialing 911 as I'm dialing, because I'm telling them to come back before the gunshot go off. By the first ring, Ebony screams out, not in front of my kids. Second ring, it go pop. By the third ring, he telling them, get the fuck out, yo, y'all start leaving. He's upstairs, me and him catching eye contact. He's coming upstairs towards me now. By the time I get to the bathroom, that's when the phone rings with the police. Now I'm on the police explaining myself. By the time I get to the door, he's busting on the door.
The he you're referring to is
Phil, yes.
Okay. So, you're on the phone before the 911 call. Do they answer?
They answer. By the time I get to the bathroom, once we see eye contact, make face to face, by the time I run to the bathroom and close the door, they answer me on the phone. So now I got time to say, hey, come here, 916 Mendoza. He just shot, Philip just shot my boyfriend Terrell. By the time I say that, he's banging on the door trying to bust in. By the time after that, I stop explaining myself and start screaming for help. Because he's obviously trying to do something to me, whether you say he has a gun or not, he's trying to bust inside of the bathroom to do something. So now I'm screaming for help. After I'm screaming for help, the police ends up, I end up hanging the phone up, he ended up running downstairs. By the time I run downstairs, I call the police back and I'm on the phone whispering. And now they're asking all these questions. And I'm telling them just to get back here to 916 me though, because I was just here less than 5 minutes ago. So now I'm on the phone whispering for my life while he's downstairs grabbing so long as his girls are in the car with her kids.
So let me be clear on one thing. While he's downstairs, is it fair that you cannot see what he's doing?
I don't see what he's doing back in here. Obviously, he's in the back room. His girl and the kids are already out because after he shot Terrell, he told his girl, y'all get the fuck out. They was already out. He was the only one in the house.
Let's touch on that. Before the gunshot, Ebony is already trying to get her kids out of there. Isn't that true?
No, they was sitting there like it was had this available states. I'm not going no everywhere, and they was sitting there chilling as well.
And sir, not that you know of, because you're not down there, are you? You're not downstairs during this time, are you?
Right now.
You're not downstairs when Ebony Johnson's trying to get her kids up out of there, right?
All right.
You're not downstairs when Terrell and Philip Daniels are having whatever argument, or whatever fight, or whatever's going on. You're not down there, are you?
Correct.
Okay. And that's just prior to the gunshot, correct?
Just prior, yes, prior to the gunshot.
You're not down there, correct?
When I was just down there though, she was not getting her.
Did you ever see Mr. Daniels with a handgun?
No, I have not seen one with a handgun, but it's easy to hide.
Did you hear Mr. Causey tell the police, I know how to get them out of here, you're gonna come back to them?
No.
Okay. Did you ever hear him say that he knew how to get them out of there?
No. He told the police, hey, we have a list for you, and we got this going on.
I just wanna make sure we're on the same page. You testified to a lot of things that you heard during the conversation when the police were there, prior to the shooting. Okay, you heard those things from where? Where were you located? Where were you staying?
He said prior to shooting, I was upstairs. Our room are literally us above there, so anything that happens out here, everything. By the time I went upstairs, there was no argument, it was quiet. It was mute for a couple of seconds, and next thing you know, you hear Ebony screams out of
No, so you're talking about a totally different time. When I'm talking about when the police were there.
The police guy was still in my room.
Okay.
Our room, the way our room is shaped, the front door is like right there. So
you said the front door is right there.
Right there by the steps. There are the steps right there, we can hear everything.
And so you're sitting in the room,
yes,
right?
On mute. TV on mute, listen to everything.
Okay. And so you're listening to the conversation, right?
Yes.
And you testified to numerous things that you heard, right?
Right.
But you didn't hear Mr. Causey saying, I'll leave it at that. Everything that you heard or didn't hear during the conversation, you heard from that room. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. And you didn't come out of that room until the police left. Is that fair?
Yes, it was when I realized the police was gone. I had came back downstairs.
How did you realize the police were gone?
Because I heard the door slam. That's when I came downstairs to see what was going on, because obviously I thought the police was going to protect what was going on down there. It was hard.
So from where you were sitting, you could hear the door slam, correct?
Correct.
And after the door slam, could you hear Terrell Causey asking Mr. Daniels, do you want me to knock you out? Repeatedly. I'm trying to time frame now, because I'm just trying to get the time. Is this right after the door closed?
Right after the door closed.
You can hear it.
It's started, yes. It's started like questions. I'm not worried, like you want me to get you out of here. He said I'm not going to have to wear.
Mr. Daniels keeps saying he's not leaving because he pays rent, correct?
Yes, but the lease agreement states.
No, sir, that's not, I didn't ask you about the lease agreement. Mr. Hayes, I didn't ask you about the lease agreement. He
says I'm not going no afterward, but the lease agreement states where Terrell also tells the police.
So what I'm asking you, Mr. Hayes, what I'm asking you about, and I would ask to strike the last answer as non-responsive. Mr. Hayes, what I'm asking you about is not the lease that you told us about now 5 times.
About me paying rent. What he said was, I'm not going no afterward.
I get to ask the question.
Okay.
My question to you is very specific.
Yes.
What Mr. Daniels was saying to Mr. Causey was that he wasn't leaving because he pays rent.
No, that was a lie. He said I'm not going no afterward, and that was the end of the conversation. Not because I paid anything about rent. He didn't say anything about rent.
Mr. Daniels didn't say anything about rent.
No, I didn't hear anything about rent.
He
literally said I'm not going no afterward. And that was the end of the conversation.
During the conversation that you heard upstairs, that you were listening to.
You're not talking about that conversation now. You just
Sir, I get to ask the questions. I get to ask.
Stop, wait a minute, stop. So, listen to the question that's being asked and answer that question.
Yes,
you guys can't talk over each other.
just
You're too close to the microphone, move it back a little bit.
I'm sorry. He said one for
I have an objection.
Mr. Objection.
That's the foundation. When he's jumping around, there's several conversations, defense counsel is jumping around. He should state specifically, at this time, what did you hear? At this time.
I have done that. I can't be responsible for the answer. I have been very specific as to what I'm asking.
All right, let's try it again. Ask your question, Mr. Pickett.
Yes. Is it your testimony that during the conversation that you heard from upstairs while the police were there, that you did not hear Mr. Daniels saying, in your words, I'm not going no effing where? Is it your testimony that you did not hear Mr. Daniels indicating the reason why was because he pays rent there?
No.
So you didn't hear that?
I did not hear that.
And you've never heard that?
I'm gonna object, Your Honor. He answered the question. Keeps asking it 3 times. He's answered it once. That's all he's required to do.
Raised his question once, but at the end of the day, that was the entire objection, was that I was so unclear. So I now asked a clear question, he gave a clear answer.
You answered the
You
question.
said it twice, so you
Answer.
said it before.
Mr. Hayes, I'm not here to argue with you.
Hold on, Mr. Pickett. Next question.
I'm not him. Let me ask you some specific questions.
Mr. Pickett.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, this has gotten somewhat beyond where it should be.
Well, perhaps, if you just ask the question.
No, he's not gonna tell me how to ask my questions. I've asked very specific and clear questions.
Stop, guys.
My questions have been very specific. Now, I can't be responsible for the answers. I'm responsible for the questions. Now, if he has a problem with my questions, then object to the question at the time I ask.
Without foundation, from now on, I will object every time.
Please.
Mr. Pickett.
In fact, I'd like to renew my motion for an adjournment based on the fact that the prosecutor didn't provide me what he was supposed to provide me with a timely manner. Now, I've tried to be nice about it, but at the end of the day, Mr. Cassidy had numerous opportunities to provide me what he's supposed to provide me with.
Overruled. Next question, please.
After the police leave, did you ever hear Mr. Daniels say that he pays rent?
No. It's actually.
In this entire, sir, I'm gonna ask you every single way I need to get a clear answer to my question.
Mr. Pickett.
You know, Judge, this become an argument.
Argumentative, sustained.
Now, you indicated that Mr. Daniels was very drunk. Did you see him drinking anything?
I smelled it.
Now, my question, sir, is very specific and
No.
clear. Did you see him drinking
I didn't
anything?
drink anything.
Did you see him ingest any narcotics?
No, I didn't know anything about pills.
And you never saw him with a gun, did you?
No.
If Mr. Causey would have a gun, you wouldn't want to tell us that today, would you?
Yes, I would, because.
You would?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Because he was-
Mr. Causey was your boyfriend, correct?
Correct.
Okay. When Mr. Causey and Mr. Daniels were arguing, isn't it true that you were there also arguing with Mr. Daniels?
I was never saying not one word to that man, I didn't say one word to him. I was watching the whole time, I was arguing my
The
time.
answer is no.
No.
Next question.
When you called the police and then they came back after you heard the gunshot,
Yes.
at that time, prior to their arrival, you didn't know where Mr. Causey was, right?
I didn't know everybody, I didn't know downstairs, I was heard a gunshot go off at the bottom of the room, I didn't know which man was doing, like I said, I didn't see him. He could have been downstairs hiding about it. So by the time I'm upstairs on the phone whispering to the police, they tell me to stay, hey, answer each question.
It's money. At some point, then you came to learn where Mr. Causey was located, correct?
Yes, once the police arrived.
And where was that?
And the kids went outside of bed.
When you say the kids room, you're talking about the kids, Miss Johnson's kids, right?
It's Johnson's kids, his kids, I don't know.
Right, because in some ways, you believe them to possibly be Mr. Daniels' kids, right?
I didn't think they was his kids. I just think he probably stepping in as a dad.
Fair enough. So, I mean, that's what I'm getting, is that you see Mr. Daniels help take care of these children, correct?
I would say relevant.
It is relevant, Your Honor, because This is a situation where Mr. Daniels could be defending himself, he could be defending others. His relationship to these other individuals in the house is relevant.
They just moved in, right? They just moved back
Hold
in.
on, sure. I don't think their relationship is relevant. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. But when you said you're talking about 4 kids, you referred to earlier. And you saw Mr. Causey inside of that room, correct?
Inside his dead body, yes.
And at that time, Mr. Daniels is gone, right?
Yes, since the police came.
And Ms. Johnson's gone, right?
They all on the car.
Police arrive. Eventually, you kind of, I know you had an idea as to what happened, but you kind of confirm what has happened and you get upset. Is that fair?
Get upset? Yes.
As a result of what's happened?
Yes.
Isn't it fair that you indicated to the police that they were going to be sued?
The only guess is I was angry at Mr. Jackson, Officer Jackson, because he just there trying to describe Philip, but I couldn't describe Philip at the time because I just seen a dead body on the street. He's just there, seeing Philip on his body camera. So he said, I apologize, let's push that on body.
And you were also upset because the police had just been there and they left.
Correct.
And that was one of the things you were also
So
upset
they kept telling me to describe everything, you know, because I was just here to just escalate the situation. I was just here. That's all I can say. I was just here. But I was so quick.
And then eventually you're, well, and I'm just asking factually. At some point, you're placed into a police car for the investigation. Is that fair? And I'm not trying to imply anything other than the facts. They remove you, and then after you were in the police car, were you taken to the police station?
No, I had to wait to the detective and come to the same spot because state my facts and go down the town the next day.
When the detective came to the scene, did you talk to him?
Yes, sorry, outside the car.
And during that time, did you see that person writing anything down? When you were talking to that detective?
Yes.
Eventually, you were either taken or you drove, I'm not sure. You arrived at some kind of police station. Is that fair?
Yes, downtown. Don't worry.
And then you gave an additional statement, right?
Correct.
And you spoke with an officer, right? Then yes?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Hayes, on this night, did you have any?
No, I didn't.
You indicated at some point that you heard Ms. Johnson say something. Other than that, did you hear Ms. Johnson saying?
She wasn't really talking as much. I thought what the girl said, either you're calling or your girlfriend's calling, all that she said was, her words for the night was, why would I calling you? I'm not calling. And once I understood to grab my phone, her next word was not gonna watch you.
Terrell wasn't, is it really fair to say that Terrell believed and was insistent that Ebony had called?
Yes, because the police said that either someone's calling, he didn't think it would be Phillips, as Phillips jumped in the conversation. And then, so Phillips from Terrell said either you're calling or Ebony's calling, because the police literally just stayed at the door saying someone from the inside is calling.
Now, this thing that, like, what you're describing, what you heard, that's pretty much, is that conversation that you heard from upstairs, or is that
That conversation when the police first came, yes.
And when there's one. Did you ever see Mr. Causey? Let me back up. You indicated there's, is this in essence like a two-family flat?
It used to be living into a whole house.
And so in essence, you and Mr. Causey used the upstairs portion, Mr. Daniels and Mr. Well, Mr. Daniels was using the downstairs portion. He allowed Ms. Johnson to stay here. Is that accurate?
She was paying rent too, so.
Okay, good. Did you, when you came downstairs after the police had and the argument or whatever was happening that you described, where was that happening at?
It was still in the front room leading to the back.
Of the downstairs portion
Yes, the road never went inside their room by the time we get hallway stopped and exchanging work in the hallway.
Did you ever see, when you say the hallway, you're talking about
The hallway, like in the middle of, from a dining room to a bedroom, so in the middle of the hallway, you can see a bathroom, so the bathroom in the middle, that hallway is room, kids, it's a road.
just so we're clear, all of this is inside of that downstairs portion of what would have been formerly the downstairs one, right?
Yes.
You indicated at some point that, you know, Mr. Daniels and they don't come upstairs to your area because that's your area, and you don't go to come to their area. Is that fair?
Correct.
But during this argument, this entire argument occurs downstairs in their area. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's really in the hallway, their area is considered their bedroom because they're renting out the two.
This has been asked and answered several times. Yes, where did it take place in that? I was asking them again. This has been going on forever.
Has been asked and answered.
Now, I'm asking specifically, he said a hallway. There is a foyer just inside the front door. So I was differentiating and making sure that we're clear when we say hallway. Are we talking about inside of this location? Or are we talking about outside in the general? Because what I'm asking about is where did this actually occur? Where are we actually at? Are we in the downstairs flat that belongs to Mr. Daniels? Where are we at?
Let's let them, they don't serve.
I'll go ahead.
During that, all of that in that area inside, did you ever see Mr. Cousin try to attempt to open the bedroom door?
No.
Did you ever see him kick open the bedroom?
No.
Did you ever see? So, according to your testimony, he never opened the door down in that room.
No, the door was already open.
Okay. And the door, what door are you thinking of first?
You talking about the bedroom doors?
I'm asking, you said the door was already open. What door are you
Yeah,
open?
the bedroom doors in the area was already open. They only rent out rooms, they don't have the whole downstairs, they only rent out 2 bedrooms. So we was able to walk in downstairs in our area, not in their room.
And where you found Mr. Causey at the end of all this was in their room, correct?
Sorry.
Where you saw Mr. Causey's body was in their room,
It
correct?
was inside the kids' room. So. When I went upstairs, they were in the hallway. Philip was in his room with Evan.
When you went upstairs, what you saw was the kids were in one room, Philip and Evan were in another room, and Mr. Causey was downstairs
In the hallway.
arguing, right?
Correct, they was still like trying to make me bring a block.
Just one more time. Did you ever hear Mr. Causey say that he was going to, excuse my language, but fuck up Mr. Daniels or Ms. Johnson?
You want upstairs?
At any time, did you ever hear Mr. Causey say that he was going to?
I didn't hear him threatening me or I hear him threatening each other. They was talking about just beat your ass and fight or he gonna have to go in on afterwards, stuff like that. So they were 2 was probably exchanging words. Abby didn't say anything, Terrell didn't say anything towards that.
I thought I asked you directly, Mr. Daniels, threatening Mr. Causey. I thought you said no.
Because they were arguing, so it was like the threats, obviously. At this point, they're arguing, so so it's a hostile environment. But you could tell that.
Specifically, you did not hear Mr. Daniels threaten Mr. Causey, did you?
No, I just hear them arguing.
Any reader?
Oh, Your Honor.
Okay. So, sir, let me make sure that I understand perfectly clear that, was it Mr. Causey's birthday?
Yes, it was Mr. Causey, well, it was Mr. Causey's birthday on the 29th, but we celebrate on the 31st because he was drunk.
Okay. So you were upstairs with him, and the next thing you know, the defendant, Mr. Daniels, is at the bottom of the staircase and he's telling Mr. Causey to come down, the police are looking for him, is that right?
Yeah, so we go upstairs and he not on.
So he comes down, you stay up. Mr. Causey goes to the door and he's talking to the police. And you can hear this from upstairs.
Yes.
And then Mr. Daniels interjects into their conversation.
Correct.
And he's asking Mr. Causey, what's going on? This is the second time the police have come here looking for you.
Yes.
And then as a result of that, do they then get into an argument? Because the police says the call came from inside the house.
Yes.
And you know, you didn't call.
I didn't call, correct.
He wouldn't call on himself.
Exactly.
So it had to be either the defendant, Mr. Daniels, or Evan.
And then when I got downtown, they showed me a number that I was not related, that I didn't know was it wasn't my number.
Who showed you a number?
I'm not sure they called it detective.
Police officer showed you.
Officer,
So you did come down.
I did go downtown and make a statement, and he showed me a number.
Oh, so I'm talking about on the day of.
Oh, no, not
okay. So then you hear the door close, and then that's when you come downstairs, and Mr. Causey and Mr. Daniels are arguing. Right? Correct. What caused you to go upstairs to make a phone call?
Because he kept grabbing his kid, like he was reaching for something, so I was scared.
And okay, so fair to say you thought he was grabbing for what?
Exactly, because the road just stated he gotta check my house.
Okay, so then you go upstairs, and then you say 5 seconds later?
About 5 seconds. 5 seconds later, I hear her scream.
You hear Evan scream, not in front of my kids, and then you hear a pop.
Shot go off.
One shot?
Yeah, one shot, and then after the shot go off, he said, "Y'all just put them out here." And by the time he said that, I'm at the top of the steps.
You're in the bathroom, and then he comes upstairs, and he's trying to get into the bathroom with you, and you're screaming, and you're on the phone with 911. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. And then, how long were you in the bathroom before you came out of it? About 5 minutes. When you come out, what did you see?
Was up in my bathroom?
Yes.
I don't see anything. I'm upstairs. I see the TV knocked down. So you knock the TV down and anything like that downstairs. So I'm still thinking that he in the house. I'm tiptoeing on him.
Okay. And do you see Mr. Causey?
No.
You didn't see Mr. Causey anywhere in the house?
I didn't see him until the police got there.
You saw him when the police got there. Where was Mr. Causey?
He was in the kids' room. He was in the kids' room on the side of the bed.
On the side of the bed. Did you see any injury to him?
I didn't see no injury. I didn't see his body on the side of the bed. I just lost my mind. Police started coming.
All right. And the defendant was where? Mr. Daniels was where?
He was gone here. He didn't see the police there for your body. So,
any questions based on my question?
I have none. Very, very briefly. When you went upstairs, and then the 5 seconds or however much time passed, is it fair to say that you don't know what either of these men were doing just prior to the shot?
I was out there because there wasn't no time. They wasn't even arguing. There was arguing on time upstairs. There was no more arguing. It wasn't me per se. It was just me. It was quiet. After it was quiet, it was literally just her Ebony screaming, not in front of my kids. It was not shut off. There wasn't no arguing, no movement of nothing. It was like a silence.
So when you went upstairs, you couldn't see Mr. Daniels, right?
Exactly. I
couldn't see Mr. Causey, right?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of time went by, you just like said 5 seconds. Some amount of time went by, and then you heard a shot, correct?
I heard Ebony scream, not in front of my kids, then I heard a shot.
How long was it between those two things?
Those two things,
Yes.
between Ebony and him?
Yes.
Like a second.
It was immediate, right?
It was not in front of my kids. Pop! And then after pop, go off and say, "Y'all get your ass in the car and go." And then I was upstairs.
Were you upstairs or downstairs when you heard Ebony say it?
I was upstairs, then not in front of my kids.
Thank you, sir. You may start. You're all set. Give me an offer of proof.
Calling the judge that she never used the defendant.
Okay, statement.
Okay.
Statement. A statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, please step forward, give your name and spelling to the court reporter. Yes, sir. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do, sir. Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box. Thank you, sir. You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Jacob, J-A-C-O-B, Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T.
Where are you employed?
City of Detroit Police Department,
In what capacity?
as a sergeant.
And are you assigned to any particular unit or not?
Yes, sir. Homicide.
All right. Did you become involved in the investigation of the death of Terrell Causey that occurred on 1/31 this year?
I did, sir.
And during your investigation, did you encounter Philip Daniels?
I did, sir.
And when and where was that?
At the Detroit Detention Center.
You see him here today?
I do, sir.
Can you point him out, please?
Yes, sir. He's sitting right there.
All right, and who was present when you encountered Mr. Daniels?
Besides myself, would be Detective Barrett.
Okay. And at some point, did you interview the defendant?
I did, sir.
Prior to interviewing, what process do you go to inform him of his rights?
We have a constitutional advice of rights form that's listed in numbers. Just advise him of his rights before we begin the question.
Did you do that with him?
I did, sir.
Did he acknowledge that he understood all those rights?
Yes, sir. I do, sir.
And those specifically are the right to remain silent, and that you say can be used against you, and the right to an attorney,
Yes, sir.
and you don't have to speak, correct?
Yes,
Having acknowledged that he had those rights, did you interview him, and did you ask him questions?
Yes, I interviewed him to ask questions.
Did you try to determine whether or not he was under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the time of the interview?
Prior to questioning.
Was there any indication by him that he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Not that he reported.
Did he tell you how far he had gone in school?
He did, sir.
Pardon me?
He did. He provided me his education rate is what you're asking.
How far?
Are you asking for his education rate? Yes, sir. I don't remember exactly.
So how did you how big a room is this that you were in?
At the Detroit Detention Center?
Yeah.
If I had to give a guess, as far as how large the room is, it's between. There's obviously a chair across from me, a desk between us, chairs in the doorway.
At that time, did you ask him about the event that occurred the day before with Terrell Causey?
After he was read his advice of rights, and they were explained. Prior to that, yes, again, question.
What did he tell you in regards to?
Before we get there, I have some board here as the commentary.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, sure.
Good afternoon, or good morning.
Morning.
Help me out, Detective Sergeant.
Sergeant Schmidt.
Sergeant Schmidt. Sergeant Schmidt, first of all, can I ask you, how long did you have before the questions?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
How long had you had contact with Mr. Daniels before any question?
If I had an approximate time as a
Approximate, yeah.
I didn't know him prior to actually meeting him. He wasn't at the scene as that arrest.
Well, I'm just asking generally, is the first time that you saw Mr. Daniels when you stepped into that room?
I believe so.
Okay. You had no contact with Mr. Daniels prior to that?
No.
Did you get a chance to ask Mr. Daniels whether he had anything to eat or drink and those types of questions?
I asked those questions.
Okay. Did you ask Mr. Daniels whether he suffered from any mental illnesses?
I don't believe so, sir.
Did Mr. James ever ask for a lawyer?
There was a conversation, if we needed one or not, to which we had to explain his advice to rights over once, to which he said that he understood, he got the opportunity to ask me questions in the initial design plan. So
In their time where he specifically asked that question, and your response is, well, if you want to talk to us, then no.
I would have to see the details.
Did you ask Mr. Daniels, how he went to school?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Do you recall?
I don't recall the exact grade of this number.
Other than the one time that you already discussed, do you recall any other instances where Mr. Daniels may have asked or inquired as to an attorney?
Not that I can recall, I have questions to you.
If I may, I would like to queue up that portion for the sergeant, so we can give him an opportunity to see that.
Okay.
With that, I asked the market exhibit, haven't admitted as to the advice of rights.
All right, any objection to the advice of rights?
No, yeah.
Admitted?
That's the review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Up to 2 minutes.
I'm sure we might find that spot. Can't find the Zoom. Just the shred. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't find a specific portion. I have no further questions as to voluntary action. I would refer to the court based on the testimony. As I said, there's just issues.
Okay, let me make sure I have a full understanding. Did the defendant ask for an attorney or not?
I don't.
You don't recall?
I do believe we had a discussion there.
Would you have questioned him if he asked for an attorney?
No, he had asked for an attorney.
All right, that exhibit 3 that counsel is about to approach with, was that given, was that executed before he asked or made some mention of an attorney or after?
I do believe that during the process, we were explaining the advice of rights. You're talking about the initialing section, I believe that afterwards, it was more so of his understanding of his rights.
All right, so for exam purposes, only the court will make a finding that the statement was voluntarily given. You may proceed, and that's for exam purposes.
Thank you. Detective, during the course of the interview, did you ask him about the dispute that took place at the house with Terrell Cause?
Yes.
And did you ask him specifically whether he had a handgun? Whether the defendant had a handgun?
I believe so, yes.
Well, we don't want you believing, so we need your correct. Do you need to review your report?
If you're asking if I myself asked if he had a handgun or Detective Royal had a handgun, is that what you're asking?
During that interview, was he asked about whether he had a handgun?
Yes, he asked, yes.
So what did he say?
That he did, yes.
And did you ask him Or did the other detective ask him where he got that handgun?
Where he had gotten it or the,
To produce it to use? Did you know, look at the report?
if possible.
Approach your witness, Judge, man. Thank you.
Which document? Which document?
I'll give it to you. The phone is.
I don't know which document.
Anything?
No, I understand. I just want to make sure the record. Make the record.
I understand. Okay, I understand. It actually is not your report, but does this refresh your memory as to what was said?
Mistakenly, before I can read it, but, so your question is did he recover a weapon during the argument is what you're asking?
Yes.
Yes, he recovered a weapon, yes.
Where was it at? Where did you produce it from?
Again, like I said, I have to look at video.
Is there some reason why we just can't hear this from the client? If he's supposed to be said it?
Other than I thought that it would get to the heart of the matter, but we might have to, I suppose. I thought I could just ask for questions.
Zoom on and let's look at the video.
Pardon?
Zoom on and let's look at the video. Moving for submission, any objection, Mr. Baker?
No, you're not for exam purposes.
Admitted. That'll be People's Exhibit 2.
Oh, it's clear. Detective, while you were in the interview room, interviewing the defendant, everything was being videotaped, is that correct?
Yes.
That's an accurate, the video was an accurate depiction of what took place?
That is correct.
It's already been admitted.
All right. I have to apologize to the court. I'm not computer savvy. I don't have a disc player.
Mr. Baker, do you have?
I think he does.
I have. You have the interview?
I do.
Can you log on and I'll make you a co-host and we can share?
Try. We're trying to look for my specific. Well, actually, you were clear today. I can just do this.
Recording is 360-234-0000.
Says connecting. Little concerned there on my battery tower is a little low. Right now, as long as.
I might have one to work.
Battery?
Well,
He needs an outlet.
Yeah, I have the cord. Oh. So I'll move over there.
Okay.
Just share screen.
Share screen and share audio. There we go. Did you do the share audio?
Oh. I've never done that.
Really? Next time you learn. We gotta get you there.
Oh.
No degree.
Try to turn it down.
I can turn it down from up here.
Good, because I've been trying to do that for a while. My computer volume is turned all the way. Sure.
Reason behind with this being a murder, I want this to be literally.
Go ahead, let it rip.
All right, just trying to go back. Are we going from the beginning or really?
How long is this video?
40 minutes.
We don't need 40 minutes. Do you have a spot that you were trying to direct them to, counsel?
oh, I'm sorry, I shoot the officer. I'm sorry.
Matter. Yeah. I mean, it's the people's burden to produce their evidence.
I know. I thought this was helpful to you too, especially if he's asking for an attorney.
Well, and I was going to incorporate that. Thank you, Your Honor. You anticipated that for the record that the entire statement has been included earlier. So I understand exactly.
Quite frankly, for probable cause purposes, I don't think we enter this. To be honest with you,
People's burden. So, shut down.
exam. Now you're gonna have to zoom back in and everything. Mr. Bickert is right though, people. This is your burden.
I agree, Your Honor, I know that. I'm a little caught off guard here, because I thought the answers, I thought the defendant was all aware of this. And provided verbally developed with his own recollection as to what took place.
That's why it pays to talk to your witnesses beforehand.
Well, that the reports, true that would be.
That means absolutely nothing. It's called preparation. And talk to your witnesses before you put them on the stand.
Well, all I can say is we presented this as an exhibit, and I would ask to play it, and that's all.
Well, yeah, and I would take the position that it is certainly not going to be on the defense to produce the evidence that people want to claim. I could literally, my argument at this point is I shouldn't be doing this at all. The court orders me to. I certainly would.
I'm not ordering you to do anything.
Mr. I figured. Hold up.
Go ahead.
Some questions, Judge.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Detective, at some point during this interview, did you discuss how the shooting took place?
Yes,
And what's your recollection of what the defendant told you?
that there was an argument that took place within inside the residence, to which the defendant produced a handgun and shot the.
Did you ask him whether or not it was done in self-defense?
Is this, Your Honor, I want to address any, excuse me, I am addressing the court.
What's your objection?
I object as to any paraphrasing. We know that the statements from my client
You
are.
can testify as to what his recollection is. If you choose to impeach him with something substantive that you have an opportunity to do that.
And I'm not saying that that's, I mean, I'm just trying to differentiate between a quote and a summary.
That's not an objection under the rules of evidence. You might not like the way I asked the question. That's not a proper objection. Did you ask him?
It seems to me the court found that it was.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize the court would.
No, I said he can testify as to the best of his recollection, and if Mr. Vicker chooses to impeach his testimony with something substantive like the video, see that fashion.
That's what I thought you said, Judge. Okay.
Next question.
Thank you. Did you discuss whether or not the defendant ever asserted that this took place with him for him shooting Terrell in self-defense?
Objection. Objection voted.
How's that not relevant?
Well, he's asked the general question, he never, actually, I'll change the objection.
Well, it happened during the interview.
Because there's been no commentary at all about anything about self-defense, not self-defense itself. In the day, where's the foundation for him to even ask whether my client said that or didn't say it?
He's doing an interview with your client, and he's asking your client, he's asking that the defendant say anything about this happening in self-defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Discuss whether or not the defendant was acting in self-defense when he shot Mr. Causey.
Let's ask a better question. Did the defendant say why he shot Mr. Causey?
Yes, he did say shot.
Why did he say he shot him?
He was being attacked. His response to stop himself getting further injured, leading to more injuries.
Your Honor, can I have a couple of minutes? I'm sorry, I want to talk to the detective in charge just for a minute.
We'll get to talk to you and have a conversation with the witnesses and know testimony.
I'm not. That's what I said, the officer in charge. Go ahead.
Can I have a minute, Ron?
Sure.
Thank you.
I gotta get your water.
Yes. This is water right here.
That's even better, thank you.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hit. That's fresh water. We just got it yesterday. Usually water.
Would it be okay if I get one from my phone?
I'm sorry?
Is it okay if I get one from my phone?
Some water? Yeah, that's fine.
Your Honor, I do apologize to the court. I have no further questions of the witness. I'm just going to ask if I can play this.
Why?
Well, and then I'll withdraw the question.
Mr. Pickett, you have any other questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. You may step back.
I rest.
All right. Mr. Pickett, you have any witnesses?
No, yeah.
People?
Judge, I asked if you line them over on the principal charges as provided in complaint one.
Mr. Pickett, any argument as to bond order?
If I can just have one very brief. Your Honor, I would object as to count 2, possession. Well, excuse me. Yes, I would object to count 2, possession by a felon. I don't believe there's no showing. And I would argue as to count 1, that there has not been shown an intent to kill on behalf of my client.
Probable
A
cause
specific,
first?
a specific,
Sorry?
a
Go ahead.
specific intent to kill. As opposed to.
But you recognize that this charge was second degree, right? It doesn't have to be specific intent. Second degree murder is a general intent.
Well, fair, you're absolutely right. I apologize, I misspoke. And at the end of the day, though, I would still argue, as to the murder too. I would argue that in the words of the officer, that my client indicated in his statement that he shot this individual to prevent being attacked. There's really been nothing to dispute that. And at the end of the day, we have no testimony as to anyone that observed this actual shooting. Obviously, we know that there was a shooting. So that's my argument as to count 1 here, is that there's no real showing of what my client's intent was, other than that what was stated. The only evidence as to intent was that he was trying to defend himself.
So tell me why this isn't a question of fact to be determined by trial.
That's my argument.
Can't tell me why this isn't a question of fact.
Well, I would argue that there's not sufficient. I would argue that there's not sufficient evidence for the trial fact to find that my client had the intent to kill.
Well, I think your biggest problem is that you can't bring a gun to a fist fight.
I guess it depends.
And it would be left to a question of fact as to whether or not the force, the deadly force he used was reasonable in circumstances, which would make it a question of fact to be determined by trial. I think you maybe on more firm ground as it relates to count 2, weapons, firearms, possession by felon. I'm trying to find what the specified felonies are to satisfy.
Well, and I would further submit that again, that isn't people. That's not even the question. The court should have to do.
Well, I'm not understanding this, Mr. Bishop. The people have submitted that the defendant has a
Prior conviction.
Prior conviction. I have to find out if that prior conviction satisfies the requirement.
Fair.
What's the date of that felony again?
2009.
Okay. As it relates to count 2, felon in possession of a firearm. So the statute reads, and I'm looking at 750-224F. 1, it says, except as provided in subsection 2, a person convicted of a felony shall not possess, use, transport, sell, purchase, carry, ship, receive, or distribute a firearm in the state until the expiration of 3 years after all the following circumstances exist. And then a list of circumstances. Subsection 2 says, a person convicted of a specified felony shall not possess, use, transport, sell, purchase, carry, ship, receive, or distribute a firearm in the state until all of the following circumstances exist. And then it lists those circumstances. Further down in the statute, subsection D, it says specified felony means a felony in which one or more of the following circumstances exist. One element of that felony is the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against the person or property of another, that by its nature involves a substantial risk that physical force against the person or property of another may be used in the course of committing the offense. 2, the element of that felony is the unlawful manufacture, possession, importation, exportation, distribution, or dispensing of a controlled substance. 3, an element of that felony is the unlawful possession or distribution of a firearm. 4, an element of that felony is the unlawful use of an explosive. 5, the felony is burglary of an occupied dwelling, breaking and entering an occupied dwelling, or arson. So only one that comes remotely close is 1, element of that felony is the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against the person or property of another, or that by its very nature involves a substantial risk of physical force against the person or property of another may be used in the course of committing the offense. And the offense again is what?
Receiving and concealing stolen property.
Element that is use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against the person or property. I don't think that qualifies as a specified felony. As such, the court is going to dismiss count 2. The court finds that people have met their burden of probable cause as relates to count 1, second-degree murder, to count 3, carrying a concealed weapon, count 4, felony firearm. Dismiss count 5, because that's the felony firearm attached to the felon in possession of the firearm. Court finding those charges were committed in the city of Detroit. The court finding probable cause to believe this defendant committed them will bind the defendant over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for further proceedings. His arraignment on the information, date and time will be March 5th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Bond will be continued.
Yeah, could you repeat the date? I'm sorry.
March 5th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right.
I see you in the face, right? Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniels, I see you in the face. Okay.
I need dismissals as to count 2 and count 5.
Understood, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. What is this? Constitutional rights. That's the only thing.
Sorry about that. Got myself in the I got you.
Sir, appreciate it.
She gotta finish up.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes the docket for today, folks. So we'll see you tomorrow. Same bad station, same bad time. Remember, it's a King holiday.